What's up, dudes and dudettes? It's Tony. It's Friday. You know what that means. Dudes After Dark. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We love and appreciate you all. We also love and appreciate our official sponsor of tonight, the one, the only, Garage Beer. So cheers, everybody. Grab your favorite drink, and let's get into tonight's show. Let's go. What up, everybody? Happy Friday on a short week. Boy, we worked hard this week for this one, didn't we? 4-day work week for the blue-collar working dudes and dudettes of this fine world, or those in the United States that had the 4-day weekend after saluting those that served us. Happy Memorial Day. Hope everybody had a great long weekend to go with this short work week, and we're happy to have you here with us tonight, and we're real excited to have our guest. I'm your host, as always, Tony, the Dude Lane. I don't know if the dude's going to stick. I'm still trying to feel it out. It's kind of like the whole Tony thing or hey, dude, or something like that. But we have a real exciting guest here tonight. We've had him on before, but we haven't had him on this new format with everybody, the dudes at the round table. Head coach Bob Williams of Fork Union Military Academy. Over 400 career college coaching wins before he came to Fork Union. So very established coach, great get for us here. Absolutely legendary coach and a great human being. And we absolutely love that he's back on here with us again. And first, let's get into our co-host, but my main one, the OG triple out of California. You might think he's a chimney, but that's just him partying. That was bad. A man who gardens better than most, a man that believes in living off the land. Some might say he wears a tin hat. I just think he hates getting sunburnt. So I think without further ado, my man, my dude, my head compadre, I sure as hell couldn't do without him, Brandon Johns. How we doing, brother?
Whoo, what an intro, man.
That was a roller coaster. We went here, went down, back up here.
We finished strong, though.
Nice shirt, buddy.
Hey, what? No way. You got one too? That's so neat.
We kind of invented this. Thing. Wow. Sure hope Eamon got the memo.
Hopefully he reads the company emails I put out. I work hard on those.
Yeah, those. Yeah. I look forward to them every Tuesday. Oh wait, you sent them on Friday. Whoops. How we doing, John? How was the week, man?
It was good. It wasn't bad. I don't know. It's the same old. It's the same old sad story for me, dude. Work is just rough right now. But hey, we're powering through, and I got off on time today, and I'm not on call this weekend. So let's go.
Send it.
I don't have one right now. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Yeah. Well, hey, hashtag thanks UPS. Got denied, man. Hey, as the coach Williams would say, come on, we got Dikembe Mutombo. No, by UPS.
You know what? Hey, you suck, UPS.
Yeah, get out of here. So absolutely don't use the United States Postal Service.
I really crap on FedEx. Yeah, because FedEx delivered, if you've tracked the package on the app, delivered something to my buddy's house and then took it back to the distribution center 3 towns away, and then it sat there for a week. It was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I left myself on a lonely island with choosing USPS over UPS. I'm sure UPS was actually just probably doing, the Lord's work, just watching over.
Hey, I will say this. After all the craziness last time, they did get me my branch box that I ordered. I got it today, and it was nice and smooth. There was no shenanigans. I didn't. It was just Chris, hey, buddy. Got my box. He's like, yes, thank you.
Oh, he's like, thank you, Lord.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Branch Barbecues. Shout out to everybody. But you know what? Let's give a shout out here to our third wheel of the party. No pod is without its try.
Ooh.
I don't know.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm glad you got it. Yeah, I don't know.
Did I celebrate too early? I get hyped.
No, I feel like we're just like working out these intros week by week. We're getting there. What is he? The Southern Smoker Fried South Kakalaki
the
Sensei.
smoker fried South Kakalaki Samurai.
The man that makes a regular cheeseburger look like Picasso's long lost piece of art in the Vatican ceilings. Damon Kite. What up?
Ooh.
What's up, guys? Hey, John, I did get your company email.
That's right. I knew I told you he reads them.
Yeah, I'm probably the only one that does read them, though.
Everybody that wants one of these Home of the Freeze, Land of the Poor shirt, they will be available on thedudenetwork.com when that is live.
That's right.
As well as these nice new tumblers, these shot glasses that got Dude Network on it, and it's got the microphone with TDN on the bottom of it.
Yeah,
those are going to be
nice.
I know, we're getting there, boys. We're getting there. We got
Man,
merch.
Hey, look, hey. I didn't know we went all bougie on them. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome, people. You're welcome.
Yeah, isn't it? Okay, I will admit, is it weird that we got bourbon glasses before beer koozies?
Sorry, we stepped it up a notch.
Oh man, we definitely dropped the ball. Shoot.
No, we need to do that because more people probably drink cold ones and sip bourbon. But
I plan on mailing out koozies is better than.
If you're a real poors, you sip bourbon from a Dude Network glass.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you save your pennies at the grocery store to splurge on a $30.
With your pinky out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
John didn't get that memo. John didn't get that memo. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
So, Damon, man, did you have a good short week of work?
Yeah,
I know you worked. I know you had a 4-day week.
Oh yeah, you know I did.
I did too. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was lovely. But it's sometimes it seems like though sometimes in shorter weeks seem longer.
I know because Tuesdays
you're trying to.
You feel like you get all 6
to cram everything in. So
yeah, and then like nobody's like motivated, so like nobody wants to help you get the projects done.
Well, hold on though. Like what work are we talking about? Damon having to cram in.
Hey man, I got nap schedules and everything else I got to work out.
Control Enter.
That's right.
And
clock in. All right. Well, that was all I needed to do for today.
That was the worst part.
Damn, left my battery charger at home. How am I gonna watch all these Instagrams today?
Yeah. Nah, I got that taken care of.
Oh man. No. Well, I appreciate you guys joining here with me tonight. As always, man. Always a good time. Real excited about our guest that we got here in the back room, ready to come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, Coach Bob Williams. I first knew about him at West Virginia Tech whenever I was a student at Alderson Broadus. And our teams played against West Virginia Tech before they left the NCAA Division II. So he got a good taste of NAIA when he first got down there at Glenville State, went to NCAA Division II, then the school switched back to NAIA. And it's two completely recruiting styles, as I'm sure he'll tell you, as it is now here at Fork Union Military Academy, where he is at now down in Virginia. And we're real excited to have him on. I think it's like the third or fourth time he's been on. We had him for our March Madness selection party, which we all did equally bad on that one. But no, love having this guy on. Over 400 career wins. And I think it's closing in on 450 if you add the collegiate ones to Fork Union. And I think he's going to get there this year because I think he's going to surpass it. I think he's going to have like 520 total career wins after this season. He's going to make up games. He's going to do 60. Team's going to be so good when they're going to play until they lose.
They're like, hey, we got to give him an extra win this season. That was way too good.
yeah. You're just going to keep giving them wins. Like, yes, keep giving them. Check, win. But a man that precedes the legend, a man that can recruit to anywhere, a man that has led many young men on to success. He has turned little boys into men.
Ooh.
On the basketball court, in the classroom, outside the classroom, in their families, in their churches, in the communities, in their volunteer groups, the Red Hat Guild, Coach Bob.
boy.
What's up, brother? How we doing, man?
Hey, Tony. Thanks for having me on. You're giving me way more credit than I deserve. That's for sure.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't think we gave you enough. He didn't get the memo on the shirt party. That's for
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go out on the internet and get one of those.
We can send you one, man. I mean,
Okay.
You lived in enough. Hey, you lived in Glenville and Montgomery. You live this lifestyle, dude. Yeah.
True.
Right.
He's like, yeah, man.
He's all, yeah.
And now I'm in Fort Union, Virginia. There's not one traffic light.
Man, isn't that wild? Just when you didn't think you could get any smaller, you totally outdid yourself.
Good thing I like the country.
I was going to say, man. Now
that sounds like paradise.
It's actually a beautiful area.
You were born and raised in New York. Was it like upstate New York, up in the country? Is that your upbringing up in the sticks in New York?
Yes, Watertown, New York, an hour north of Syracuse, 20 miles from the Canadian border. My whole family, my parents retired and moved to Florida. My brothers and sisters all moved to Florida. Everybody got so cold up there in the winters, so they said, the heck with this, they're out of there. And I'm the furthest north now. They all live down in Florida and Georgia and Tennessee.
What was the most snow you ever saw? Ever?
I survived the blizzard. This is how old I am, too. I survived the blizzard of 77 in Watertown, New York. School was closed. I was 12 years old. School was closed for 2 full weeks. The plows couldn't get out. They were snowed in. So it was just walking on the snow or snowmobiles. That's it. There was nothing else allowed out on the streets. But you could walk right on your roof of your house. That's how much snow there was. And then my family, we ran out of oil to heat our house. The truck couldn't come in, so we moved our family into 2 rooms of the house and put sheets over the doorways, and then just use kerosene heaters just to get through that time. It was a good time though. If you like snow, especially as a kid, you love snow. Yeah, it's one thing I do miss. I miss the snow. Being down here in the South.
Yeah, and it was hell. I did in Ohio this past year, man. I don't think we had like one major snow the whole year.
Yeah, it's pretty mild.
But no, like I said, you've been, since you would say you're a seasoned coach. Your words, not ours, because you look spry as a chicken, sir. You've got, like I said, you've been NAIA, NCAA. You've been now you're at a military academy, which is a post-grad program. So you've been around all of it. Just how, I don't even know where to really start, man. Okay, I'll do this one. Like all 3 of those, NAIA, you've done the JUCO route. What has been the toughest level to get used to of any of them?
I don't know if any of them's been tough. It's been enjoyable, just being able to coach basketball for a living, raise my family as, and pay my bills and live day to day as a coach and a teacher. I taught for 20 years also at the college level. And a lot of times at small schools, you got to do more than one thing, to be able to justify your salary. And so I taught and coached for a long time. And here I'm the director of financial aid at Fort Union Military Academy and the post-grad basketball coach as well.
Oh, I mean, sounds like, something you can just do in your free time. It doesn't sound like that bad. Hey, by the way, Bob, sorry for our questioning advance. We're pretty sure this is how you're going to feel at the end of this show after this one here.
Excited. It was really tough. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a different ball game, but I had a blast. So thank you.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Tell him the best part though.
And she won. She was the winner.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's how our guests feel at the end. It's like I had a great time, but God, it's over.
I know, Tony. I've been on the show before.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like.
Well, hey, at least you don't have Williamson to deal with this.
Oh yeah. Thank God he's not on here tonight.
Oh wait, sorry. As a matter of fact, we have a guest. We have a question from the crowd here tonight, Coach. Oh no, he goes. Oh, that's me. My bad. Go. I'm touching
Bob
stuff.
Williams.
I shouldn't be touching
How's
stuff.
it going? Wanted to drop in and give you an opportunity to answer a question that I think may be helpful to some young people in the coaching business or aspiring coaches. So my question to you is, what advice would you give to any young coaches, male, female, middle school, high school, prep, college, professional, anybody trying to get into the coaching business or anybody just getting into the coaching business? Because as I well know, you've been all over the country. I've been all over the country. We've coached a lot of people, a lot of places, and I think a lot of people don't understand how hard this is at times. But just wanted to give you an opportunity to maybe shed some light or give a little bit of advice when some people may not know how to ask for it or when to ask for it. Again, Coach, I hope all is well. Give me a call. See you later, man.
That's my guy right there, though. That's my guy.
Yeah. How can
Love
you hate
that guy.
Jeff Williamson, head coach, Garden City, Kansas? Thank you so much, Jeff.
It was that his. What hat was he wearing? Was that Colorado Buffaloes hat, or was he wearing?
That was a Garden City Buffalo.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I have to get one of those.
That was
Yeah.
Jeff's a classic. I mean, he's just a great guy and funny as guys you'll see in our coaching business. He's as funny a guy as there is. Just, I mean, he's told me some stories. Just I'm rolling on the floor laughing. But I did get to run into Jeff at the West Virginia State boys basketball tournament in March and spent a little time with him there. It's always good to see him. And as far as his question goes, I'd say any advice I would give to young coaches is, trying to get into the business or stay in the business in their early years is be patient, pay your dues. A lot of people don't want to pay their dues. Young people nowadays, they want the high salary right off the get-go. And so a lot of people have gotten out of coaching early just because, they're more worried about the money. And I know today is harder to live too, with the cost of everything, but than when I was breaking in. But be loyal to the people that you're working for. Stay patient. Don't overstep your bounds, and learn from people that have been doing it longer than you have, and have a great attitude. Treat people the right way, and work hard and study the game, study the craft, and you should always be trying to better yourself as a coach and continuing to learn, because the game in all sports, the basketball, it keeps evolving. There's different terminology that comes around and different ways to do things, different concepts offensively and defensively, and as well as different training techniques. So those are some things that I would say. But everybody can't be a Jeff Williamson. It just comes natural. You're just naturally a talented coach. He didn't really have to learn from anybody, but all the rest of us do.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, he's getting up there, man. 2 win seasons in 2 states. He's getting there.
Yeah, he's done a great job there. It's amazing, and making a name for himself out there in Kansas and Oklahoma.
He's actually, I tell people, if you want to know how to do it, I mean, he created all his own opportunities. And I think what you're talking about, Coach, is like just that. Someone that wasn't afraid to go do an extra camp here or go volunteer here or just go sit on the bench, even in like a summer league, or just go help, anywhere, because you just don't know when you're going to meet that one person that could give you that opportunity that is a paid gig, for sure. Johnsy, what do you got here, man?
So, your dad was a coach too,
correct?
Right? Yeah, and he was pretty. You played for him, right?
Yes, sir.
So. What's that like, having a dad as a coach? Because I've had my dad be in charge of other things like that I was involved in, but never a coach, and I don't know how that would have worked out for me.
Yeah, usually, especially nowadays, kids definitely don't want to listen to their parents when it comes to sports, and maybe almost anything really. But
Right.
But I played for my dad back in the '80s, and then my 2 brothers also played for my dad. My dad was the coach at Jefferson Community College in Watertown, New York, for a long time, and he was very easy to play for. He was very laid back, never really took anything home. I lived at home those 2 years that I played for him, and I was the starting point guard my second year. And first year though, we only had one incident. We were sitting at the dinner table, and I don't know who was there. It was maybe three. I'm the oldest of five. But anyways, my mom, my dad, and kids were having dinner one night, and it was my sophomore year, my freshman year, and I was backing up at the point, and we were talking about basketball somehow, and we don't always talk about basketball at that dinner table. But my mother said, "I got a question. What are you doing to my son? Why is my son not starting?" Right to my father at the dinner table. It was really funny.
Dang,
and,
Awkward.
yeah. But other than that, we never had any issues. He really wanted me to. Back then, point guards were true point guards, kind of like old John Stockton style.
Yeah,
the passers first, and you rarely even shot back in those days as a point guard. Nowadays, point guards are scoring point guards. Every team has to have one, and but so my father didn't want me to shoot a lot. My job was to assist and get the ball to people, and I ended up breaking the school records for all the assist records.
Yeah,
nice.
And
subtle record breaker drop. Subtle.
Yeah.
We only like having record breakers on.
Yeah,
here.
we had Sam Clancy on. He's like USC everything, so it's only natural we follow that up with you and your records, Coach.
Sam Clancy was a good one, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that was an awesome. He had some stories. 18 years overseas, man. He had some stories.
Wow.
He was saying in Turkey, grandmas would light up pennies and throw them at him on the floor and stuff. The players, like that's all the crowds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Before we let Dave ask a question, I have a question for you. How short were the shorts up at Jefferson?
They were short. We call them diapers. I mean, they were diapers. Yeah. Back in the early 80s, you were wearing diapers.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't wear jock straps for the health. You wore it so you didn't have any accidents, man. Like you didn't want Betty Joe over in her little pom pom seeing the goodies.
It's unbelievable, really. When you look back at it, think about it. And I have some film too to prove it. And
we need that next time.
We won't show any on here tonight, though.
Hey, if I'm not
the family
11.1 assists per game your sophomore year up there, right?
Yeah, somebody must have padded that, but
somebody must have.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I just again, I played for a coach that just wanted me to pass. We had a lot of good athletes, and we were a running team and scored a lot of points. So I was fortunate to be able to play with some guys that could score, and we pushed it. I was throwing lobs and passes and that was my job. I was basically an offensive assist guy. That's it. And that's basically Jefferson. That's my claim to fame. I sat at the bench at Ithaca, didn't play much, and then got into coaching. My father was I tell people the talent level skips a generation because my father was an All-American at Broome Community College, first team All-American. And then he was a great player as a starting point guard at Lamar University down in Texas. He was very talented. I wasn't very talented. And then my son is very talented, and he's played junior college down in Texas. Now he just signed a scholarship to play at Frostburg State in Maryland. They'll be in the same league with AB and them in Glenville and in the Mountain East. So he's very talented. So the talent skipped a generation for sure.
Did he get recruited by the new coach up at Frostburg?
Yeah, Zach Thompson, who actually played for me at West Virginia Tech.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I knew there was a connection there. Yeah. I figured they hired somebody in the vicinity there, so I kind of figured you knew someone about that. Yeah, and that's important, though. I mean, because if he wouldn't have been recruited by that guy, he would have been like, God, do I want to go to the school or to the guy that didn't offer me?
Well, yeah, he wouldn't have been able to go there because they weren't recruiting him the previous step. But he probably, if Zach hadn't got that job and offered Robbie, Robbie probably would be going to Florida or staying in Texas and playing somewhere at a different school. Nice. He had other offers.
Okay. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What was that process? Dang it. Damon, I'm sorry. Next one. What was that process like as the father of watching your son get recruited instead of you doing the recruiting, as you were the one in so many living rooms or on the phone, like, hey, I want you to come to West Virginia Tech, Glenville, Fork Union, all of them.
Well, I was very involved with his recruitment because just being in the basketball business, so I know a lot of people. So, there was a bunch of schools recruiting them that I didn't know who they were, but then I tried to reach out to people that I knew, to try to help them. And it's competitive business, it's tough. Robbie was second team all region, Region 5 down in Texas at Collin County College, just outside of Dallas. And he's a very good point guard. And he started his career actually at Marshall. He was on Marshall's basketball team his freshman year, and then transferred to Coastal Alabama for 1 year, and then at Collin, played there for 2 years. And now he's going to be at Frostburg. So he's a basketball journeyman right now, which in the transfer portal world, he's sitting over here next to me. He just got in town here today. He was in West Virginia. He was in West Virginia for the week. He's the third. I'm actually the junior.
The mark of the beast. The trilogy.
Yeah.
Damon, what you got here for Coach?
All right, so Coach, after all your wins and all your years in basketball, coaching or playing, what was your biggest accomplishment?
Well, that's basketball wise. I mean, we had some really good teams. We had some teams that were, struggled, and we had to rebuild programs at Glenville and at West Virginia Tech. We had to rebuild both those programs. Here at Fork Union, you don't rebuild because your team, you're getting a whole new team every year. You just reload. But, some of the things I'm most proud of as a coach probably was when our Jefferson Community, I replaced my dad when he retired at Jefferson Community College.
Okay.
I was the head coach there for 2 years in the 90s, and we went to back-to-back Final Fours, and we went to the national championship game in 97. That's how I was able to get the Glenville State job, D2 in West Virginia, just based on success in New York. It had no ties there whatsoever. And at West Virginia Tech, my last season there, we won 30 games and went to the Sweet 16, and we were number 3 seed. We were number 1 seed in our bracket, but ranked number 3 in the country, and it was a special season. It was really a good way to finish my 17 years at West Virginia Tech, and there was other great moments too. We 1 year we beat number 1 Mountain State University on their home court in Beckley, West Virginia, and then there was some other great things. Teams that have won some championships and a lot of great players. And you guys will appreciate this because it doesn't matter really about my coaching. It's about the dudes that you bring in to your game.
That's right.
You better have some dudes that can play.
For sure.
If I have a bunch of guys that can't play, then I'm not a very good coach. But if I got some dudes like you guys like to have, on your show, and your hosts are dudes, winners, and guys that can get it done, makes you a much better coach. But you got to have the horses, and you got to have great players and talent to be able to have any success in sports.
Is anyone else ready to run through a brick wall right now?
Yeah.
Poor Wednesday, nothing to sniff at. I mean, look, he's just talking, and I'm ready just to ready to go back and sign up. I'm ready.
Yeah.
You got eligibility, Tony?
I was going to say you had some eligibility left, right, Tony?
We got 1 scholarship left, Tony, and we're looking for a big body post that can bang people. I think you could do that.
Tony. You don't even need to shoot.
I got this. Yeah, they call me Gorilla Shack up here where I'm at, man. That's what.
Even though you're undersized, I think you got a lot of heart and toughness.
Hey, 6'3" in academy level. I can make 6'3". It's all about the hip placement, bro. It's all about the hip placement. I'll cripple some kids. I'll get right on them hip bones, man. They'll crumble.
Hey, you gotta remember, you're getting up there too, bro. It's not too long before you hit the court. And with your hip,
I was hard on my liver, not my joints. So my joints are like 21. So I'm good.
No. Listen to me. Everything's tied together, buddy.
No, it's not. Nope. The gizzards are separate from the proteins. I mean, the calcium deposits, which are your bones.
But if they're not operating properly, they don't filter out the proper things they're supposed to, which affect the rest of your body. Hey, biology, bro. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's not the only thing we're going to disagree on because it's time for block or charge. Boo, 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 boo.
Wah, 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 wah.
Womp, womp, womp.
Block. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
man,
see,
these are the
Coach, we got
best.
graphics now, man. What do you think?
Big time show.
Yes.
Big time.
Oh,
We got
the best.
backdrops. We got our names. I mean, God, it's you can't
Yeah.
pay for. Well, you can, but technically.
So you ready to start this
boy.
thing off?
Yeah, I got. All right, this
All right.
opposite thing gets
Yeah.
me every time. Yeah. Let's do. All right, Coach.
I'm-
Coach, we need you here on this one. Block or these first ones are going to be. Well, Damon, you know how to
Yeah.
lead these in here. This is your
Yeah,
thing,
man.
man.
So here we go, Coach. Let
Stagnant
us know.
soothsayer.
Let us know
Damon.
what you think here.
Ooh.
We'll watch it a couple of times.
Block and one.
Block
Oh!
and one. Okay, hang
Yeah.
on.
That's a
Yeah, he was twisting. You can't twist the hips.
Yeah.
You can't twist the hips. Oh, that was a good
Oh,
collision.
man. Yeah, it was.
Whoever says basketball isn't a collision sport needs to watch that about 6 times.
He was
Yeah.
going into a Euro move, which is almost impossible to take a charge nowadays with a Euro step.
Mm.
How do you coach that?
Yeah.
Just check him into the third row, make sure he doesn't do it again next time.
Just send it.
It's hard to take a charge, they just step by you nowadays,
Yeah. I'd be like, well, let's just make sure he doesn't want to go up for that next time.
When I first started coaching, there was no Euro steps. Now, halfway through my career, all of a sudden you start seeing Euro moves.
It's boy, the game has
Yeah.
changed, hasn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, it changed. It does change.
like every good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was going to be one of the things I asked. Being in the game so long, what have you seen change?
Ooh,
And
that's
you answered it now.
Yeah, it's a good question. Just the 3-point shot really changed the game more than anything. Back in the 70s and 80s, people were sitting at 2-3 and they'd pass the ball around forever, passing up 15-footers. And now people are shooting quick. The pace of play is much faster. Shot clocks have gotten shorter. 3-pointers, and then people started getting good at the threes and shooting high percentage. They move it back every few years. Moved it back, and everybody just keeps adjusting. They keep the training is outstanding nowadays, and strength training and technology, everything keeps getting better, and so
Right.
the game's much faster. I think it's a more enjoyable game too. More exciting than it used to be.
Absolutely.
well, people
More
like
athletic.
offense.
There's more athletes now everywhere. Too.
Yeah.
And that's just now, do you think we got somebody's block or charge? Man, he's just leading into next questions,
Well,
man. He's
no, there was a. What were you about to say? You were about to say something, and man, never mind. It's gone. It's gone. I can't even remember. It was a good point though about stuff
Yeah.
changing. Sorry, buddy. I shouldn't
No,
have
it's
even
all
brought
right.
it up. I shouldn't
No.
even brought it up.
Shout out
What's
to
that?
Virginia Beach.
Well,
Pier Life.
Pier Life. Hey.
Pier Life.
Yeah,
Yeah, hey.
I'm drinking
Life-
salt water tonight. Yeah.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Salt water. That's good. Damn it. Yeah, next block or charge.
That's what I'm
Forget
saying.
what it was.
Think about it. We're going to hit a couple
Yeah,
more times.
yeah.
Think about
That's
it.
all right. No, these questions with him are coming up so natural, man. Like there's so many questions I have written down from so
I
far
know.
that I've been on asking.
All right,
All
what
right,
you got
next
on
block,
what you got on
block
this
or
one, Coach?
charge, Coach? Oh yeah. Hey, well, I want to see the elbow here.
Did she throw the ball at the girl?
Yes.
Oh. So you got a block, and then you got a technical. I'm sorry, you got a charge, and then you have a technical foul after the game, after the play.
Oh,
That's crazy.
she hit her with the WTF, mate.
Well, the ref had.
Oh yeah, she was staring right at him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she dipped the shoulder.
What did you guys have? Charge?
I have charge on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can't lower. Yeah, she delivered the blow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
She,
it
like,
was
pointed
square
the
right
head
in the
right-
middle of the body. That was an easy one.
Hey, I know what happens afterwards was definitely a charge.
Yes, absolutely. Even in the church league, Johnson.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I got plenty of fouls, bro. I pretty much use them up almost every game.
Hey, it's like your banking account. You can't take it with you to the grave. Use it.
That's right.
Send it, bro. Hey, I'll be back next game. This is church league. They're not kicking me out
Or
forever.
church league, like next game, like the next court over. Like, all right, I'll be over. I'll meet you over on court B.
Johnsy, you look like you'd be a defensive stopper.
I have. It was a free for all back then. It wasn't like we weren't coached. We
He
weren't
didn't have-
coached.
He didn't have a legendary coach like Bob.
We
Williams.
didn't even have a baby version of your coaching skills. No offense to you guys. I mean, everybody watches the show, so sorry, guys.
All love, all love.
Hey, I got a quick question for you. It's
Yeah.
something I want to piggyback to something that he said, and I didn't realize this. Being the school that he's at, he's got new faces every year. So what's that like for coaching instead of having a team to work with?
That's a good question. You asked what was the toughest thing. This might be the toughest being here because I never have anybody returning, or very rarely. So we have to recruit a whole new team because we're a post-grad team. So guys are coming here after they graduate high school for 1 year, really only 8 months. And they play 35 games, 100 practices, weight sessions every other day, train a lot of training, and then they go to college and play. So you have to have a whole new team every year and then reteach everything again. That's tough because I'm in practice in October and I'm getting frustrated. I'm looking around. Where's my what kickers? Where's my what kickers? My juniors and seniors that can lead by example and demonstrate how I want things done and understand the concepts. So everything has to be retaught over. And so one thing I've had to probably think about, and I'm kind of a control freak, like a lot of coaches are control freaks, and pay attention to details.
Really,
every little
really
detail.
A pronoun I would use to describe the coaches.
And so I'm trying to think because maybe it's just keep it really simple because they're only going to be here for so long. But at the same time, I want them to feel like what it's going to feel like in college. And I've been a college coach for so long. Mm-hmm. I'm doing all the same things I did in college. I teach them the same way, and same things in detail and holding them accountable and being demanding without being demeaning and just trying to get them ready for college. And it's almost like an extra freshman year for them, really, because we just feel like guys that do a post-grad year, especially when we're playing with the Elite Prep League, it's one of the best conferences in the country. And we just finished our first year in that league. It's a new league. And so it's a high level. It's a much higher level than high school. And it's really getting you ready for college.
Nice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. So coaching has a lot of success stories, but a different angle that not a lot of people have to ask is, there's situations where it just doesn't work out. And there's going to be extra bad situations where you feel terrible for the kid because of the situation they came from, and you really wanted it to work out. You really wanted to give this individual a new life, a new fresh start. Because, when you're recruiting at the college level, you get some people from some not so great upbringings and backgrounds. Have you ever had a situation where it just absolutely crushed your soul that it didn't work out and that you had to let a guy go off the team, or they lost their scholarship due to grades because they had some stuff going on at home? Like, has there ever been one that just like stuck out? And you don't have to say any names, but maybe like a situation that was just a real Debbie Downer.
Yeah, it's been a couple where, kids played 4 years and then didn't get their degree, and never ended up getting their degree. I hate that, I mean, overall, basically, our graduation rate's pretty high. It's just, it's not 100% though. And so you're going to have, some people that fall through the cracks. But yeah, I mean, I've when I was started out as a high school coach, and so I'll tell you the worst of the worst. The worst thing that's ever happened is I was a high school coach in New York starting out. I was only 23 years old, and then I left after 2 years. I left and got in the college game. While I was in the college game, one of the guys that I coached in high school got charged for murder. Of a baby, and that's probably the worst thing that I've seen. I've also had a player when I was at West Virginia Tech in my early years there. One of our players died on a motorcycle accident.
Oh man,
he was only 19 years old. I got a phone call like early July. I got the phone call. It was devastating. Spoke at his funeral, and then those are some of the low points. That's just part of life, though. It's not necessarily part of coaching.
Yeah.
It's part of it. That could happen to anybody in any walk of life. And then, we try to teach our kids there's so many ups and downs in life. Young people, I don't know if they realize, just because you get your degree doesn't mean it's all easy. It's not easy raising a family and trying to earn a living, and especially nowadays. So you're always
a lot of people have degrees nowadays. I mean, it's not what it used to be. That piece of paper isn't the almighty extra dollar sign that it
just because you have a degree doesn't guarantee anything in life.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things, most rewarding things, was when I was at Glenville State. We had a young man named Tom Ewing, and Tommy actually dropped 31 on your alma mater, AB, in the WVIC playoffs, first round of the playoffs. We lost. AB had a really good team. That was when they had Sean Hampton. I don't know what year you graduated, Tony.
Oh, it was way before that. Yeah.
Okay.
I was up there during Zimmerman years.
Okay.
My freshman year, was their last year in the WEBIAC.
Okay. It was right before that.
So to the NAIA. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was at Glenville, though, we played AB, and Tommy had 31 in the playoff game, 8 3-pointers, and we lost a close game to a nationally ranked AB team. But anyways, and fast forward many years later, and I'm at West Virginia Tech. Tommy now, a lot of kids you remain good friends with over the years, and went to his wedding, and just remained friends for a long time, and still good friends. Just texted with him today, actually, and he's now a circuit court judge in West Virginia, and so that's that's my example of you've seen the lows of the lows and you've seen the highs, and that's a real high for me. Is somebody that I coached went on to be a circuit court judge and asked me to speak at his swearing-in ceremony in a packed courthouse. That was really special for me, and just to be able to, be in his part of his life, for all these years and later, and see him have that kind of success. And then that's just one example. Obviously we have many.
Right.
I've been blessed. I have several people in my coaching tree that have either played for me or coached under me that have done really well in coaching, around the country, and several have gone on to Division I assistant positions, and so that's because I'm a coach. That really means a lot. And that's, you don't see that coming when you're going through the coaching, when you're coming up through the years. But then all of a sudden, wow, I'm old, and now I got guys that played for me in coaching, and they're calling me for advice, or or I'm trying to help them with jobs, and it's pretty neat though. So you obviously there's lows in anything in life, and we've had some tough seasons, and we've had some great seasons too, and been an enjoyable ride so far.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably been situations where you had a freshman that was a complete pain in the ass. You're ready to give him a boot in the ass, and next thing you know, you're swearing him in at the court as a judge that's deciding people's futures. You're like, boy, if you would ask what I thought about you when you were 19 after your freshman year.
And I just think if you played sports, you appreciate a guy that's tough on you, because when you get through it, and then later on in life, I played for a great high school coach named Lou Kibling. He passed away last year. Lou, he was revered in our town, and he was old school, tough, but everybody loved him. And, I was very close with him and talked to him 2 days before he died, and always remained good friends with him. And was what a great mentor. He's a New York State Hall of Fame coach. I've been fortunate to have worked for or played for 3 New York State Hall of Fame coaches. But he's just revered. But I've had some players who, when they were, first year playing for me, I've had to throw them out of practice, and dog cuss them, throw them out of practice. And then, they come back. Usually, most of them come back and they apologize. They apologize to the team, and it just, it's part of the growing process and just handling discipline, in basketball and life and academically. And discipline's not a dirty word. It's a form of love, and the Bible says so. And and so that's one reason why I'm a good fit at Fork Union, because I'm old school. And we're about structure and discipline and focus and getting people ready. And I'll tell you one thing. If I tell people this when I talk to families with financial aid and stuff, if every because what's going on in public schools, some public schools is really alarming nowadays, and our country's not heading in a great direction. But if every kid in America could come to a school like Fork Union Military Academy, country would be much better off country. But everybody can't, because it's an expensive school. Everybody doesn't want to go to a military academy because it's hard.
And actually, I was going to say, we actually have a question here from the crowd that pertains to that. And I think it's a really good question that you could probably shed some light on. And it says, what's the difference between a military academy and any other institution talking about athletics?
Well, I can talk about Fork Union Military Academy, which is a boys' Christian military boarding school, grades 7 through 12, 300 students, and we have post-grad basketball, post-grad football, excuse me, and we're starting up post-grad lacrosse now.
Nice.
So,
there you go.
Yeah, so we're high school basically, and we just happen to have post-grad sports, and I coach one of the post-grad teams. But so that's the only difference. I mean, our teams, we have middle school, high school sports. We have all the sports you can imagine. And sports is a big part of our school, just like it is any other school.
You guys play water polo?
Yeah, that's the only sport we don't have.
Johnsie's out. That's the only sport Johnsy played. He's out.
Yeah. He had a couple of years of eligibility of that left, too.
You come here, we can.
But I can still swim laps, so don't tempt me, buddy.
Good exercise. I need to get out and swim some laps soon.
There you go.
It's super good for you.
Hey,
yeah,
it's the only exercise that works every muscle in the body.
True.
So they say.
Fun fact of the day.
Not that I would know, but we do have some other blocker charges here, Coach. Let's get let's have some funny ones here. That Dame, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Oh, we have to wait for it to start over here.
Yeah, we had to play that one, but
yeah.
So that's going to be the question right there.
If you're asking,
I climbed on his chest.
If you're asking me, that should be a no call. There was
if anything, a block. I mean,
a block, yes.
Because in college he would have been inside the circle.
And then a technical foul for hanging on the rim.
Yeah.
Well, he was waiting on his victim to clear out from underneath.
Yeah, he could say he's, for safety reasons, he was hanging on the rim.
For safety reasons,
yeah.
He had to do the chin up to give extra clearance.
If there's somebody underneath you, you can hang on the rim, protect yourself. But that definitely was not a charge.
We'll try this one here then. We'll try this one.
All right.
Oh, I'm going with charge. I'm no expert, but I'm going with charge on that one.
Dude, I just paid for a privacy fence. Somebody's ass is getting beat if they do that to my fence. That's
great.
Oh, man, somebody'd be dead.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
That's got to be a charge.
That's clean. I think we just,
The fence took a charge.
Yeah.
Wow.
So did the homeowner insurance policy.
The double, here we come.
Yeah, right.
All right, we're gonna catch this last one right here. We're
All
gonna
right,
catch it.
all right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Holy.
That's a block, dude.
Ooh.
That's a solid, bro. That's a solid block. His feet are planted.
Yeah,
His
I mean,
feet are planted. He
it's
didn't
solidly
move.
Tree
planted
was
right there.
established. That's a block all day.
Oh my gosh, dude, is he out?
He ain't
Nah,
alive.
Yeah, see?
Dude, his shoulder is not.
Somebody
good.
told a story about it.
Oh my!
Do we know if that young man made it?
Some
on
things
the
are left
internet.
best
You wouldn't
unsaid.
have noted
He
it.
can eat cereal out of his chest.
Oh
now.
man.
Wow.
Dude, holy crap! Ooh.
He's lucky to be alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
David
sure.
and Johns are only a couple months old to the blocker charge, and I've had to explain to them that it pertains to things outside of basketball that you can ask blocker charge. It's a way of life, blocker charge.
True.
It is. That's why I
Yeah.
said that tree
Yeah.
was planted, stood its
Yeah.
ground. It didn't
Didn't move.
lean in. There was no movement.
A couple
A
weeks ago,
lot
we
of
were doing
movement on the other guy's part. A lot of movement from the other guy.
Yeah.
And
Now,
then
we had a lot of charges a few weeks ago because we were doing Spanish bull run videos that went bad.
yeah, there
you know.
was a lot of charges there.
Oh, David, you got more?
I mean, we got one more since we
Oh,
in
it's
the
an
mood.
encore. It's an
Oh,
encore.
man.
Yeah, since we're in the
Can't
mood,
quit
we're
on
gonna
that
we're gonna
last
roll
We
one more.
can't quit. I mean, that's gonna be a high note. Let's get another one here.
Yeah, we're gonna get one more.
One more. Yeah.
That's a charge. That's a charge. Oh, a double.
Damn, man, that
Double
dog's
charge.
mean, man.
Boom. Boom.
Hey.
Hey, he's on. This is my neighborhood.
Yeah, he's taking them out.
I'm going with the charge.
Get
I'm going
off
with the
my
charge.
sidewalk.
That's definitely a charge.
Yeah, that's definitely a charge. Yeah, that's out of control. He's going to the basket out of control.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
trash basket. Bang.
That was 3 fouls in 1 minute. So
Yeah. Yeah,
he's benched. He's benched at least till half. At least till half.
benched. He might as well go take a shower.
It
That
depends
was
on
a
how good of a
flagrant,
shooter he
flagrant
is.
too, I think.
It depends on how good of a shooter he is. They'll risk the 2 to bring up a couple points.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Am I right, Coach?
Yeah, I thought that I was gonna say that was a flagrant foul, maybe right there. It was done on purpose.
I will
Oh,
say
totally.
my guilty pleasure is watching people on that bike videos. I love them things, man.
Oh, dude, some of them, it's like, why are you even? Oh, thank you for
Yeah.
doing it.
I don't like
Yeah.
where the arms are snapped and limbs
No,
are dangling.
no,
Like, I don't
no,
like
no.
those. But someone getting knocked out unconscious either by a fist or by a tree, I can watch them hours. Hours. Okay, Coach, have you ever seen knockdown drag out brawls like on the court, man? I mean, I know you've had, guys getting teched up and, shoves. And I'm talking, have you ever been in the situation where you're like, oh, no. Where
And
you're
why
like
was it when you were
Jeff Van
playing?
Gundy holding on to a guy's ankle, getting drug around mid-floor. Have you ever been in a situation where it's just gotten totally out of control? Because you've done high school.
Not really. Now I've seen, there was more fights, I think, back in the 70s and 80s than nowadays. But there's some legendary West Virginia Conference fights, bench clearing balls, where people just were picking up chairs and hitting each other with them. And
Let's go.
but only fights I've seen really have been in our practices. We had we've had I can recall at least 3 fights when I was at West Virginia Tech. And sometimes you need those to toughen the kids up. It's good.
Right.
A lot of coaches will tell you that, maybe not on the air, but they'll, sometimes you need to get your guys tough, and you don't mind a little fight, as long as nobody gets hurt or gets their jaw broken or anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes somebody needs to move some furniture to be the leader of the locker room. Like, oh yeah, you want to
True.
challenge me? Like, you saw what happened to old Darren back here, old Larry wanted a piece of the
Yeah,
champ.
old Larry wanted some.
Larry here.
Larry
This is
don't
my
want
locker
nothing no
room.
more.
Yeah, and we just had a couple guys square off, and then right in the middle of a drill, and then nothing really came of that. And then another time, two guys went at it. Had one guy in a headlock and smashed to the ground, and when we broke it up. And then another time, a guy picked up a guy and body slammed him into the bleachers.
Yeah.
And I threw one of them out. It was
Yeah.
funny because I threw one out, and as the other one was walking out of practice, getting thrown out, the other one felt so bad. He was like, I'm sorry. It was my fault.
Yeah.
And then he was upset because I threw the other kid out. So, because he was such a good kid. But most of the time, all those situations, within an hour or two, those kids were walking out of the locker room arm in arm,
Mm-hmm.
apologized and moved on. And it gives kids something to talk about for years,
That's
years.
Yeah.
Laugh about.
There was one incident, AB, I heard, because I did radios, so I was privy to a lot of information at Small Alders from Broadus, where the coach squared up with one of the players and said, if you want a piece of me, come get some.
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
That's it, man.
There was only one assistant coach at AB for quite some time, so you could probably figure out who. I won't give any time here. I'll tell you afterwards.
Hey, check it. I don't care how tough you were. Ain't no one would stand up to our water polo coach like that. I don't care what he said to you. No way.
Yeah,
That guy put the fear of God into us.
so like the out of town kid, because Philippi, like he knows what Philippi, West Virginia is, but it's country, but like poor, very poor community. So there was like a local kid that was from a farm, and he was there, and the one kid from out of town was picking on the local kid, and the local kid was like a big old farm boy, and he was like, "Listen, dude, like state wrestling, what was in state wrestling?" He's like, "Listen, dude, like I'll whoop your ass if you want to keep talking." And then they started getting into it. Then the assistant coach stepped in. He's like, "Listen, you want some of me too?" Like, and that was like the end. Yeah, that was about as wild as the scene as I heard of in my it was 5 years at AB. It was 5.
And a half. No.
No, actually, it was 4.5. To be honest, it was 4.5. I only needed one extra semester. But yeah, that was like, so I was like, man, that was only in 4 years. Surely at Glenville and Tech, you had some doozies. But yeah, it sounds like you did. But no, you never had an assistant coach square up with one to put one in place, though. So that was new.
Yeah, no. Now, one time when I was a young coach in New York at Jefferson, they had to split me and break me and one of our players up. It wasn't a physical fight, but it could have led to that. It was about
I
to.
was gonna knock his little.
He might have knocked me out, but but it was when we moved on from that. But he left practice that day, but it was almost it got pretty heated. And
it happens, man.
I've got a lot of coaching friends that can tell you similar stories, where
I'm sure.
if you're any type of program that's competitive, and guys can be competitive, and then you have to make your practices competitive.
That's right.
That's how teams get better and become good. So you're going to have heated moments, and guys usually get over it. Now, if it happens in this is a dude show, so I can say this, but if it happens in a female sport, they might hold a grudge for a lifetime. But men get over it. Men can get in a fight and be buddies for the rest of their lives still,
True.
Oh, man. That's great. Damon Johnsy, you guys got more, I'm sure.
Yeah. Coach, do you still do all the kids camps and everything?
Yes. We have a camp for boys and girls here at Fork Union in July. It's the Fork Union Basketball School. So that's an overnight boarding camp. And we're going to bring Johnsy in the guest lecture.
There you go.
No, I think Damon just stole Johnsy's question. It happens every Friday.
It's all
That's
good. It's
that's
a
part of
tit for
coaching
tat.
though. You gotta keep that youth activated, especially in your community, because you don't know when the community, especially like when you were at Glenville and West Virginia Tech, if those kids, you got familiar with them. And every once in a while, like in that area, even though they're small high schools, you would still get collegiate talent to come from it. And you don't know like how familiar like those camps, even though they're for the youth, they could end up paying dividends as a coach down the road.
Well, plus you want to develop community relations, so you get people to come to your games, because especially in college level, most of the people in your local area don't know the players if they're from out of the area. But once they come in and they come to your clinics and your camps and your whatever, or you go into schools and do reading programs and do different things, then you've developed relationships with area youth. They're more likely to come to the game if they know, Stevie on the basketball team. And so we've always tried to do that. And it's good for our players. They always were great in the clinics and in the camps, teaching the young people the game and just being good role models.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's crazy how it all works. I know, like you said, AB. We had there was actually a lot of Philippine people that would come up, but that was when I went there. That was when they were going to Sweet 16s and had them top 10 rank up matchups with like West Lib and State when they had Ted Scott down there. And I remember old Rex Piles Arena, man. It was like standing
Rex,
room. Yeah. It was the name of our place. It was NAIA Hall of Fame coach Rex Piles was the coach.
Nice. What a name, Rex Piles.
Yeah, Rex, man, old Rex.
And I'll tell you what, Rex Piles.
Maybe like 4,000 people show up in this little podunk ass town to our gymnasium. Man, people are walking a mile across the mountaintop where the school is located to get down to a Division II game. But it was like top 10 ranked, man. It was like the hottest ticket in town. It was crazy.
Yeah, Rex. My experiences at Rex, I don't know if I ever won a game there. I don't know how many games we played there. We usually got beat when we went to Rex Piles. Yeah, it's a tough place to play, especially especially if they had a good shooting team. It was a shooter's gym. That's why Stephen Dye was so good there. It's kind of a shooting gym, shooter's paradise.
You can let it fly. You can let it touch. You can let it make. You could literally make it rain, and it still wouldn't touch the ceiling.
Rainbows.
Yes, and Zim had great teams. He was a great coach. Zim was. I used to tell people, Greg Zimmerman was as fine a coach in the state of West Virginia. He was maybe the best pure coach in the state of West Virginia, just because he could take a little lesser talent and win with it. Where most of us got to have talent to win. But he's such a good coach. And then once he had talent, he was amazing.
Yeah, well, the problem down there was scholarships.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks just because you're allowed 10 scholarships, a lot of D2 schools don't give you 10 scholarships. Like, I think
that's true. I know about that. Yeah, that's very true.
I think he was working on like 6 or 7. So he was going to Sweet 16s with 3-4 less scholarships than some of the teams they were beating.
Right.
It was crazy. So I was wondering, like, man, imagine if he had 3 more.
Yeah, he could do more with less. Yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully one of these days we get him on there.
Zim was great too, because I love going in Zim's office before the game and just to see the deer head on the wall, and it's pretty cool. He was a big outdoorsman.
Yeah, big. Me and him went to the same high school.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, and my cousin went down there, and that's how a Garaway kid ended up down there because he went down there to play for Zimmy because they knew the family.
Nice.
Yeah, we even went same elementary. Shout out Reggersville Buccaneers. Let's go.
Yeah, Bucks.
Yeah. Sorry, I went down a tangent. Sorry.
We're not even mad.
No, seems sensitive on
Not at all. I was just trying to get into it with you.
Yeah.
No. Ray.
Where you were hype, man, and you didn't. All right, whatever.
I need better hype. That was a charge. That was a block foul. One of them.
It was definitely a charge.
You were trying to get, you didn't get it.
It was definitely a charge because those were fouls on purpose for sure.
Johnsy, last question here for Coach, and we're going to.
I'm going to stir the pot one more time. All right, you touched on how your dad You say he's a better ball player. We'll leave that up to everybody else. Who's the better coach?
Ooh.
Well, definitely him. You know,
Oh, come on.
I mean,
Aw.
he's in the New
Mr.
York,
Humble over here.
he's in the New York State Hall of Fame. He's in the Broome Community College Hall of Fame, and I think he's in maybe the Binghamton, New York Hall of Fame or something like that. So, you know, he had a lot of success and was a very good coach in his own right. You know, was a great player too. He's got that over me. You know, probably equal maybe in the coaching, but you know, it's my dad. I guess I got to give him the edge over me.
Do you now
I wouldn't.
touch on that? Do you still use any of the stuff that from back when he coached you? Has any of that transferred into your coaching this far?
Yeah, I mean, when you take things from everybody you played for or worked for, and then you mold your own philosophies, but you really, without even realizing it, you're taking things from people. Just maybe just probably how he interacted with his players, how he gave his players confidence. He always had great shooting teams, and that's probably one thing I took from him is he was a very good offensive coach, and so I was able to take that from him and how to instill confidence in his players and become good shooting teams, good offensive teams.
Did you come to go to your dad and be like, this is how you use a point guard, Dad? More than
Yeah, when he watches my son play, I can kid my dad and say, why don't you let me shoot as much as he shoots? My son shoots a lot. He's a scoring point guard. And,
there you go.
But back when my generation, again, you just, you weren't allowed to do that.
That's so crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how far it's come.
It is a wild situation. You talked about it earlier. Cost of living in today's game. Everybody's trying to play for the Bucks. Do you think that, like you said, when you were cutting your teeth into coaching, you could afford to live off, a couple $100 a month, if you were really smart about it, and because they would give you a cot and a meal plan, at the school or something like that. With the cost of living and less of these programs, like the less room and board and the less funds that are out there compared to the cost of living, how hard is it to define dependable coaches and assistants in today's day and age as to what it was a few years ago? Because, somebody would maybe want that job, but they're like, listen, I got bills, like I got a car payment, I got insurance, and it cost me $2,000 a month just to break even without room and board. So, like, how hard is the climate of recruiting good assistant coaches in today's climate? Well,
in our situation, we're kind of isolated. So when you're in a small town, there's not very many. You can't just go in if you're in a big city, you have people that will volunteer, or part-time people that can work another job and just drive across town to help you for practice and games. Here, you can't do that because the nearest Richmond's 55 minutes away, and Charlottesville's like 40 minutes away. So, it's all small towns in between, and so it's not like there's a bunch of people here that could help out. So you got to get people to move here. And so it's hard if you don't have a lot of money. And it's just, it's a beautiful area though, but it's just not for a young guy that's looking to start in coaching. And it's harder because we're high school or prep school, but then when I was in college, guys will more likely take a college position, but so it's different,
Yeah. And now it's like, a lot of these coaches, when they do get these assistants, it's hard to have an assistant stay there for more than like a year or two. Because it's like they're obligated. They have to try to chase more money, because they have families, they're getting married, they're starting to have kids. And we all know the cost of kids these days. Like, God, it's $50 for a box of papers,
Yeah, for sure.
True story. But Yeah, I was just curious on that actually, because I'm not as completely, back when I was doing my SID work and trying to get into the sports information game, and I was pretty hip and privy to this information, but I'm out the loop, Coach, so I had to ask.
Well, I'll tell you, yeah, speaking of kids, my daughter just graduated high school last weekend. And so I've got 2 in college coming up this year. And yes, they're expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Affirmative.
Hey, tell Trilogy over there that it's NIL is okay. You can get an NIL deal now. Yeah.
That's right.
The old trilogy.
It's really
That's awesome.
I don't know what
That was great.
He probably deserves way better of a nickname than that. That's a fact.
The trilogy. Sorry.
Has there been a trilogy that's been better? Rocky 3 was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Was it
Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings 3 was solid.
Yeah.
Return
Yeah.
of the King? Yeah, that was a solid movie.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah, see? We're on to something here, Coach.
Yeah, see? Return of the Jedi was the best Star Wars, even though that was like 6 or whatever they tried.
Yeah.
It was third once upon a time.
It was, yeah, somehow it works out that it was third and it was the best.
It's the common denominator, always. Hey, I lived in West Virginia just like Coach. We can make all kinds of numbers and disappear and reappear. That's just West Virginia math, man.
Hey, they're starting to teach that everywhere. It's 2 plus 2 is 4 if you feel like it is.
That's right.
If you don't
If you
identify
feel like
with
it's
that,
5, it could be 5, sure.
6.
Crazy.
Up to the kid, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach, final comments here for you, and we're going to send you off here and let you enjoy your time with your son, because I know you don't get much of it. Why should anybody consider the Fork Union Academy route or the postgraduate route? I know with the transfer portal, the extra COVID years, there's probably been a little bit more demand for your level of ball, because like everything got backed up. A couple of recruiting classes got backed up. But in your opinion, why is it a good route for your kid to go to Fork Union Academy?
Well, we're fighting that battle right now with recruits. Trying to convince the kid to come here instead of going straight to college. Or kid, hey, trying to convince the kid, you're going D2, but we think if you come here after a year, you can go D1. You'll get more exposure. You'll get a year better. So, we're fighting that battle right now. We have 8 players so far for next year. We still need 5 to sign 5 more. Then we have offers out. We're talking to kids every day, but so we have our challenges just like everybody else. And but I think it's a good route just because you're just going to get a year better if you can afford. When I was a college coach, I used to say, if you can afford to do a prep year or a post grad year, why wouldn't you? Or if you're going to get a scholarship or your family can afford to send you, why wouldn't you do it? Just to get better and position yourself and get more ready. We just think if you come here, you're going to be more ready as a freshman coming from post grad than if you came right from high school.
Okay.
Has this happened yet? Where you've had a kid that was maybe a D2 kid and you've turned him into a D1 kid in your 2 years?
Well, that's happened over the years here many, many times, and or a kid that was unknown, a kid that was maybe on a team where maybe they were the 3rd leading scorer on a big school or a big city team, and maybe came here and just needed a little more exposure, where we play in front of a lot of college coaches, and college coaches even come in and watch us practice in September. And so we travel a little bit. We'll go up to Connecticut and play in front of hundreds of college coaches in tournaments where we go to, and where they might not be getting that at the particular high school they might be at, and it's just competitive now. And you mentioned the portal, everything's backed up. So, even some of our kids are being recruited at a level under of what they were. In Virginia, there's a lot of talent, and there's a lot of talent in the DMV area. And so there's kids that are right now still unsigned that are very talented, and a lot of them, pre-pandemic and pre-transfer portal era, they would have went Division I. And right now, they might either have to go D2 or go to the prep route to get ready and try again for Division I next year.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you just never know. Anything else, guys? Real quick.
Yeah, man, I think we
Yeah.
touched on every.
I know,
every
man. We got to
spot.
let this guy go, Coach. Absolute pleasure, man. Thank you so much. You survived. You look like that Taylor Starling UFC fighter, but you survived. You rope and dope. You dodged some major bullets there. You took a couple haymakers, but you're still standing. But hey, enjoy the weekend with your son, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
We're definitely pro family here. We're pro good dudes, and you, sir, are definitely one of them. Don't be a stranger. Best of luck to you this coming year, and keep knocking down the doors. That you do, man. You've helped so many people. Keep doing your thing. And and good things come to those that are good people, man. Be good, do good, good things will happen, and you are a epitome of that. Dudes and dudettes, head coach, Fork Union Military Academy, home of the cadets, Bob Williams.
All right.
Tony, Johnsy, and Damon, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Yes,
it was
sir.
a
Appreciate
blast,
you coming.
man.
You're welcome anytime, and don't forget to thank Williamson too next time you talk to him.
That's right. Take care.
All right,
guys.
everybody. That was
Yeah.
Coach Williams. Have a good weekend, sir. Oh man, that was awesome.
Absolute legend, man. Absolute
Yeah, legend.
400 and something wins only on the Dude Network. Hey,
Approaching 450, right?
Yeah.
approaching 500.
Yeah.
More like it.
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Sky's the absolute limit. But no, I hope everybody has a great weekend too. Damon, Johnsy,
Yeah,
Hope
man.
you
You
guys-
too, bro.
I hope you guys just kill it, man. Hope everybody crushes it. Little field note on me. I will be cooking on a pretty big show on Monday, so we'll have some content coming from that. Have a little bit of the anxiety on the Reflog Big Play show. We're going to have Cleveland legend John Tolucci up there eating some Frickson Farms picanha on Monday. He was like a 35-year news anchor for Fox 8 Cleveland, so he'll be up there like a Cleveland legend, so that'll be pretty cool. But no, looking forward to having a good time, taking a little PTO day for myself. But everybody ordered the Zab seasoning. We are having some delay on getting the peppers in from on getting them finished packing. Everything is basically ready. So we apologize to everybody that put in a pre-order for that, but we are working on them as quickly as possible to get them out to you. We appreciate everybody. Everybody have a great freaking weekend. We will see you when we see you this upcoming Sunday, 9 o'clock. Sorry, it's habit. I still do it. 9 o'clock. Yeah, we have a guest on Sunday.
It's gonna be good. You're gonna want to tune in. We're keeping it a little hush hush till day.
I will say the guest you guys have is the worst guest you've booked yet, by far.
We can make it happen.
Yeah, you're gonna you got your work cut out for you on Sunday.
Yeah, well, we're gonna turn that. We're gonna put lipstick on that pig. That's for sure.
It better be Victoria. Ain't got no secret no more, Snick.
Yeah, ain't got no secret.
Lacey lingerie ain't gonna fix this one, boys.
And don't forget next Friday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jonathan, you tell us about Friday. Jonathan booked a banger.
We're gonna have Funny Man and voice guy, Mr. Heath Allen. And if you don't know, this is the only clue I'm giving you. I don't know how he hasn't skeeted all over your social media. I'm just not sure.
Skeet.
You can't say skeet on the radio.
Well, luckily we are not eligible for the radio.
Yeah, that was an old Chappelle line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Hey, Ohio resident, let's go.
Oh, everything's about Ohio tonight.
He chose us. We didn't choose him.
It's okay.
He
Ohio's
wanted
for lovers.
He won.
That's
It
what they
is.
tell us. That's what they tell us.
And for fighters, but all right, everybody. We'll see you Sunday, 9:00 Eastern, 6:00 Pacific, everywhere else in between. Everybody have a great weekend. Raise your beer, and we will see you next time. Salute.